I'm Adam Willems, lead reporter at the FR.
Hi, I'm Peter Piatetsky, CEO and co-founder of Castellum.AI.
Thank you, Peter, for being here. I'm wondering if you could explain what Castellum does.
Yeah, definitely. So we're a B2B SaaS compliance platform. We help governments and businesses identify and prevent financial crime. Specifically, what that means is, in our case, sanctions, export controls, adverse media, beneficial ownership, and forced labor. So this is a type of risk that is significantly more dangerous than fraud. Fraud presents a commercial risk to a bank. Sanctions, corruption, Department of Justice charges, supply chain, forced labor, that presents a type of risk to a business that can lead to a charter being revoked, $100 million fines, and more. So we help a lot of fintechs and banks avoid and prevent that kind of risk.
Right, totally. So I'm curious what kind of compliance bodies you work with. I imagine like OFAC, but who else?
Yeah, so we get data from compliance authorities all over the world. So we pull data from the US Treasury, OFAC, but also Commerce Department, UK Treasury, Swiss Treasury, Japan Ministry of Export, Interpol, Europol, FBI, DEA. In short, we, for our clients, identify risk globally. Anytime that risk rises to a significant legal matter, if your organization could get in trouble for it, we identify it, pull it, enrich it, basically put it into a huge funnel. And then our clients are able to, one API call, one click, and identify, all right, I got risk information back, or I didn't.
Right, that's really interesting. What are the most burning or acute topics that are sort of front of mind right now?
Yeah, so we're at Fintech Meetup right now. So definitely banking as a service compliance. We've seen a lot of lawsuits in the space, a lot of regulatory fines in the space, and some people are even asking questions of, is banking as a service going away? I think someone who supports a healthy banking sector and a healthy and strong U.S. economy, we need banking as a service. There's simply no other way for smaller banks to compete against JP Morgan, Bank of America, etc. It's a great way for banks to get access to bigger markets. But what has been going on right now clearly hasn't been working if we look at the fines. So I think we're not going to see BAS go away. I think what we're seeing is less of a Wild West and more of a understanding that, hey, if you're a bank that is working with fintech partners, you own the compliance. The regulators are going to hold you, the bank, responsible, and not the middleware and not the fintech.
Right. And then what about on the sanctions front? What's sort of interesting to you there?
So sanctions are coming fast and furious, and we have a lot of global attendees here. So we're not talking even just US sanctions, we're talking global sanctions. And one thing that we're seeing is, so actions are occurring not just on a weekly basis or a daily basis, but sometimes even multiple times a day.
Right.
One area specifically that is growing is crypto sanctions. So increasingly, when sanctions are issued, there would be, we're sanctioning this terrorist, here's their name, their address, their place of birth. Now, every time sanctions are issued, governments also ask the question, do we have a crypto wallet for this person? So with the war in Gaza right now, Israel has added, for example, hundreds of crypto wallets to its sanctions list for Hamas financiers. And a question to a lot of crypto businesses is, are you checking for that? And so crypto sanctions expanding globally, I think is a big trend that we see for 2024.
Really interesting. What do you hope to get out of a conference like Fintech Meetup? To what extent is this sort of a space for you to talk to folks you wouldn't really get access to otherwise?
It's a Fintech Meetup is an excellent conference because the quantity and quality of people that attend. So for us, this is a really good place to talk. One, meet our existing clients and partners.
Right.
Of course, meet potential new ones, but also understand what they're looking for in the products. So, met with regulators here, met with partners, met with clients, and all of them are helping us better understand how we shape our 2024 and beyond roadmap.
Right. My last question is, what is on your 2024 roadmap?
So we're launching a lot of really exciting products, allowing users globally to screen against not just sanctions, adverse media, but also global beneficial ownership, security screening, forced labor and supply chain screening. So essentially, our biggest goal for this year is to allow fintechs to come to us and banks, and for us to answer all of their compliance questions with one API call.
Really interesting. Well, thank you very much for your time. It's great
Thank
to meet you.
Cheers.